Well, good afternoon, everybody. Listen, this is very interesting how this came about. About early June or July of this year, I was watching the rockets get shot up from Florida. And you probably remember the person that started that was the person that started Tesla. And he's also the man that founded PayPal. Well, long story short, I heard an interviewer ask him, she said to him, how do you do so much? I mean, you run 7 companies or something like that. You're shooting rockets up in the sky when nobody thought you could do it. You're running a big organization called Tesla. You founded that company. You've done all these. How do you do it all? And he said one simple word, Calendly. I was like, hmm. And I just made a mental note of it, didn't do anything about it. And then I was on another call. It was an LFIC call, not that long ago, actually, maybe in July or so of this year. And I heard Brad Gerard speaking. He's from Canada, $1 million earner. And he was talking about, oh my gosh, he travels the world taking photography. He's an incredible photographer. He runs a highly successful Primerica business, getting back at it. And his big concern was, how do I do it all? How do I balance my life? How do I get all this done? And so he started talking about Calendly. I'm like, there's the second time. That same week, I heard it said again. Long story short, I got on it and I said, wow, this is incredible. I'm all about technology, but I'm mainly about technology for a selfish reason because it saves time so I can spend more time and have freedom doing the things that I really want to do. Many of you already know this. We have an 11-year-old Down syndrome boy, and I want to spend as much time as I can in his life, mentoring him and spending time with him and the rest of my family, doing the things I really want to do with my life. I see Primerica as an opportunity to develop freedom for people's families. Well, I wasn't enjoying complete freedom. We had been thrown in chaos this year, and we were, trying to figure out what to do and how to do it and all the new technologies. And I'm going to tell you, I strongly urge anyone that wants to get more out of their day, have control of your schedule and not let other people have control of it, get on Calendly. It's really, really simple. So I call it simplify your life and be more productive. I created this little presentation so that I could really, really help our team go to another level in their business. And I'm going to show you how we're using it in a second. So why Calendly? Have you ever experienced booking an appointment with a client or an associate? You sit there and you go, okay, so I'm available on Tuesday, earlier in the day or later in the day, afternoon or evening. By the time we get done bantering and we find our schedules, then we're like, well, I'm a field trainer, so now I'm trying to do it for a prospect. I'm trying to do it as a field trainer, and I'm also trying to train someone else. So I got 3 schedules I'm dealing with. Listen, it can be very confusing and very difficult if you're trying to balance your life and have times doing the things that you really want to do. What Calendly allows us to do, oh, and by the way, calling or emailing back and forth, it's not only tiresome, but cumbersome, right? And many times it takes longer to set a doggone appointment than just do the meeting, right? So here's where Calendly is very useful. Calendly is an easy to use scheduling solution that can save you a huge amount of time and hassle in productivity. Now, by the way, I don't work for Calendly. I sound excited about it because I am. I'm going to show you how I'm using it. I'll show you my schedule and how it's worked. So what does it look like? Here's what it looks like. First, to find it, go to calendly.com. Calendly is spelled CALENDLY.com. Okay, that's how you find it. When you go there, this is what you see. You can sign up for a free account. If you find that you're using it and you're going to use it for a lot of other ways, like team integration and things like that, well, then what you can do is you can pay a little fee every month and have a more sophisticated one. I use the free one, okay? So let me show you a quick start guide, okay? So when you click in there, you can see says view quick start guide. You have no events yet. That's what you're gonna see. There's a quick start program, looks just like this. You connect your calendar. I use Gmail, okay? So I really like Gmail for a lot of reasons. It connects and interacts with a lot of other things. And so you connect your calendar, you set up your availability. It literally walks you through exactly how to set up your availability. And then you set up your first meeting. So what's that look like? Well, here's a copy of my dashboard, which is a Primericatized, if you will, dashboard. Every single one of those boxes represents specific time frames and specific things that I can do. For example, what different things do I allow people to book on my Calendly? Well, I'm testing out people for $B Smart. I do Team Tenacious Associate 30-minute personal meetings with me. Now, by the way, that's my entire dashboard. I don't need to share this entire dashboard with people. I'll show you in a second. I can share just one thing. So let's say that somebody wants to book a time with me. I don't sit there on the phone or email back and forth trying to figure out when we have a time. I send them a link of one of those events. Let's say I want a 15-minute link. I choose the personal time with me for 15 minutes, bottom right-hand corner, and I send them that link. Boom, send it to them. They book an appointment. It automatically shows them my availability, shows them when they can book 15 minutes, because it integrates with my regular calendar. When I'm booking appointments with someone else or they want to take my time, this is what I do, okay? So I have my regular calendar, but Calendly books in those free times, okay? So I'll show you what that looks like. So when a client calls you or an associate calls you, I give them a scheduling link. What's that look like? Well, if I gave them a scheduling link to my entire schedule, this is what they would see. Now, by the way, I have a couple hidden things that I don't send out, but like this one has the test out for $B Smart, one-on-one follow-up after an introduction video set by an associate. So let's say somebody wants me to kind of do a field training appointment with them. They can do that right there. They click on it and it literally shows them everything. So these boxes here are all specific tasks that I do repetitively and that people can book with me, because I find myself, and most of you will as well, in Primerica, you're going to do a lot of similar things over and over and over. I do F&A reviews. Somebody wants to review some investment portfolio with me. Those are all in there where they can book times with me. I have an inner circle. I have a leadership group. I allow them to book time with me. I just let them click on those links. So anyway, not just anybody can do that, only people that I share these links with. So what's that look like? So if I send them a link, this is what they're going to see. So for example, I sent them a link to have a personal meeting with me. This is just a really current one. Team Tenacious Associate 30-minute meeting. You want a one-on-one meeting with me. What happens is they are sent a link. This is what they see. They click on the link, and then they're going to see, well, I can book time with him 17th, 18th, 21st, or 22nd. That's when he has time slots available. So what does that look like? They click on the 18th. It opens up. It shows them that I have slots at 9:30, 10, 10:30, and 11. Okay. Now they click on that link. And then what happens is I have Calendly pre-set up to automatically set up a Zoom meeting. So I don't use my same personal ID every time. It sets up a personal ID number for them. It books it in Zoom automatically for me. It's all integrated. I don't have to set up the Zoom. I don't have to set up the meeting. And they get a reminder email whenever I want it sent. I usually send them 24 hours in advance. I don't have to click on that. It sends them a reminder text 1 hour before. I didn't have to do that either. It's all automatic. So that is a pretty incredible system. So for example, when they click on 9:30, they hit confirm. They push the confirm button. You can see this is the dashboard they see when they connected on my link. Okay, that's what they see. So it's really super simple. Okay. Now, meanwhile, in my dashboard, what am I seeing? They saw that. In my dashboard, this is what I see. I see all these different Calendlys pop up. on my Calendly specific dashboard. They're automatically booked into my calendar, okay? And I can see it separately which ones were booked by Calendly, okay? So that's what that looks like. It's pretty awesome. And once it's set up, you never really have to mess with it. It automatically does all this. So I'll give you an example. Here is like the 15th of this week. I think just a couple days ago, December 15th. You can see this is my Google Calendar. These are all the things that were on my schedule. Well, you can see a whole bunch of them. I'm testing out a lot of people through $B Smart, as well as do all the other meetings that I do. And you can see exactly that every one of those red lines there, those are my personal tasks. The blue ones are Team Tenacious. That's our team name, events that show up. So I color code everything. But I'm responsible for doing all those red items. So you can see I was actually pretty back to back that day. I had an RVP with me who's getting started with $B Smart. She wanted to go through some things. Then I had Joy, Terry, Kathy, and then had a Zoom call, and then I had lunch, and then I had another test out. He's in Virginia. So anyway, that's what I did. So all of those booked in automatically from my Calendly. I didn't book those in. I didn't have to type them in. It automatically went in for me from my Calendly. So how do you set it up? So that particular meeting, those 30-minute meetings, I have integrations that I can do. Okay, well, what's that look like? So when I set up that box right there, if you will, that 30-minute personal meeting with me, there's something called integrations. Well, I can have the location set as Zoom. So what happens is when I first set up my Calendly account, I entered in my Zoom account. It integrates automatically, seamlessly with Zoom. And so I can set that for multiple locations. In other words, they can choose Zoom or one-on-one, or like in that case, I only gave them the option of Zoom. And then there's a description. So it says open to all associates, 30-minute one-on-one with Zoom. This time slot can be used for whatever business issue you'd like to discuss. And then on another thing, I actually have them fill out a box that says, what are the main discussion points that you want to have? So I don't just let someone on my schedule just for anything. Maybe it's reviewing where they're at for the month or whatever, okay? So again, they can't just hop on my schedule. I don't make that available to necessarily everyone. I can make those available to whoever I want when I set up that event, okay? So then what integrations are available? Well, another thing that's available besides Zoom is I can go in there and send them a text and have a notification sent to me that when someone books a meeting with me, pops up on my phone, hey, so-and-so just booked a meeting with you, so I'm aware of it. And then I can look at it. I'll show you that example in a second, how it looks on my phone. It's pretty cool. And then there's an email reminder sent to the invitee. I can have that sent as little as like 15 minutes before the meeting, half hour before the meeting, 24 hours before the meeting, however I want to preset that. And again, once I set up these parameters, I don't have to do it again. And so then they get a reminder sent. There's additional resources for emails. And then I can also, the very last item there is an email thank you. I don't even have to think about it, that if they had a special task that they wanted to sit down with me, I can look very professional. Let's say it was a client. I can thank them for our one-on-one time. That's all done in there as well. How much time does this save me? I believe it saves me on average right now 6-7 hours a week. Why? Because, and by the way, for me, that's a lot of time, okay? The reason why that's saving me that kind of time is because I do a lot of meetings in a short period of time. I literally want to be home every day as much as possible to pick up Grant, my son, from school, right? He gets picked up at 3 o'clock. So I usually want to be done with my meetings at 2:30. So I have time to get from my office to go get him, spend some one-on-one time with him. So I set up parameters like that within my Calendly account. And boy, I'll tell you what, because it does all that, people probably wonder, how do you do all that? Like, how do you send an email reminder and then a text and then a thank you note and all of that? It's because it's all preset. It makes you look very professional, very organized. I have found this a front end investment of a couple of hours that has created me tons of time. I had to learn it just like anybody, and if I can learn it, anybody can learn it. So let me do this. Let me stop the share of that, and let me just show you real quick on my phone. If I can share that, let's just see if it'll, technology, you just never know, do you? Okay, there we go. So here's the deal. I'm going to share my phone. And here's what it looks like on my phone, not like that. So I have to push my fingerprint, but you can see down at the bottom of the screen, I'm actually sharing my screen with you. So at the bottom, right down in the center, you can see a couple people have already booked two appointments today already. So I click on it. I can see my calendar. You can see, first off, this is my event types. Look right down here, event types. You can see all those. So I have access to send somebody a link. I can actually go click on the scheduling page right from here. So I want to know, what does that look like, right? So what are they seeing right now? That's live. That's what they're seeing. Okay, so if they were testing out for $B Smart, that's what they're seeing. Now I could go here to scheduled events, and I can see that there's some upcoming scheduled events, Monday, Tuesday of this next week that were scheduled on Calendly. And again, they can't schedule over my calendar on Google Calendar. So that's how that works. I just wanted to give you a high level view. I personally think it's incredible. Oh, I will show you one more thing. This will be really valuable for you. When you end up integrating this to your field trainers on your apps, here's what I did. I integrated this on our hierarchy app as well. Let me close out of it, go back in. Can you all see my phone screen? Okay, so I integrated it here on my team app. 1 second. So I go down here to team. I have our video links, okay? So we deploy all our videos right from here. But the issue is, if I'm newer, how do I get the right person? Well, we have each of our field trainers listed there, you can see. But when I click on one, let's say Jeffrey here, you can see he can deploy, or any of his people can deploy the video right from here, but they can also see his Calendly link. So there's his Calendly account. And so he can see his time slots that he has available. If he clicks on one, there's his times. So literally at any time, our trainers have our trainers reps have access to this, so they can look at their trainers' times. This was a problem for us, okay? Because we'd have a new associate wanting to set time with their field trainer and having to call back their client instead of just booking the appointment right away. So we integrated it into the app so that we could absolutely share people's times with them right there and have our field trainers' agendas and schedules available as well. I'm telling you, I think we've seen a lot of great technologies, and I agree that we've thrown a lot at our teams, but I'm going to tell you something. Listen, since I've been here, the one thing I know about life is change, right? Get ready, guys. Things are going to change. So the bottom line is, I've lived my life and my business life by anchored to the rock, geared to the times. And if we want more time, in my opinion, technology helps us get more time and put more time into our life. So I hope that helps somebody out there. Hopefully it gave you enough introduction and enough high level where you can see how simple it can be once you have it set up. And by the way, any of those pages that you set up for you can be cloned, if you will, by any of your people, so they don't have to figure out what to do. Okay, they can just duplicate what you've already done, and then you can customize it the way you want. Love it. There's so many other things it can do to help you save time. That's just how I've been using it. I hope that helps somebody.